with all those years I've been teaching schools, I've been dealing with students, I came up recently to just decide and set up something that I'll call my own. They don't have the chance to quality education. When I talk about quality education, it means like a education which is moving according to how the world is, modern education.
As usual, it's Artist TV. We cover education-based story. Our dear followers, I'd like that you may start by introducing yourself to our dear followers.
Oh, thank you very much. My name is I'm called Doreen Kazarwa, and I'm mother of 5, a wife to one man or one husband, and I'm specifically in education.
Specifically in education.
Yeah.
As you say, our TV also cover education-based story. I'd like to ask what about your experience through that?
My experience in education, I can say that that's the first job I did in my life, and I feel like, wow, that's my call, or that's my purpose. This journey of education, I started it in 2000 and something like 4, if I remember well. That's when I realized that I am in education earlier, or maybe I'm so much in education, I'm so much dealing with kids. It's when I finished high school, and then I joined one school, and I was like working as a helper. Then from there, I found that I'm making it well. Like I'm really doing it well with kids. I know how to handle them. I know how to deal with them. I know how to teach them. I understand them. Like I understand them in an easy way. So from there, I was like, I think I can take it to another level. So from there, I went to study education, but on the lower level. That was in a diploma level. Then from there, I got a job. The first job I had was in Tanzania as a teacher. I went there and I taught there for almost like 5 years. So I had a good experience. First of all, teaching kids from another country, from another culture. Yeah, I learned some experience, and then later on I came back home. That was in 2015. When I turned home, also I continued to teach in different schools, but mostly in the international schools, until recently I was working with one of the University of Kigali, but I was not in academic, I was in administration. So in that process, I wanted all the time, all the chance I could get, all the experience I could get. I could feel like I want to add more experience. I want to learn more. So I found myself now in school, in the university, doing masters in education, management and administration.
Management and
Administration, yeah.
Okay. It's a long journey, but our guest followers may ask themselves, why did you choose to stay in education? Why people are trying to escaping through it?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's really a good question. First of all, I'll call myself to be like education or having that skills of teaching. To me, it's like a call. Or, well, let me explain it in this way. We do have 2 types of teachers. We do have a teacher by born and teacher by training, the one who has been trained. So to me, I can say that I was a teacher by born. That's one. So being a teacher by born, automatically I will love that. Another thing is that I found myself that I was so good. I love kids. Like I really love kids. So spending my time with kids, it's much pressure time to me than spending my time with other people. So that I think for me makes me to feel like, oh, let me keep going here because that's where my call is. And what makes me to stay, as you asked me, what makes me to stay in education? As I said, but first of all, it was my call. And second, is something that I liked. I like sharing my ideas. I like giving more than waiting to receive. And then I like serving. I like serving more than waiting to be served. So when I consider, in few words, I can say that a teacher is someone who gives too much. A teacher is someone who serves too much. And a teacher is someone who must have a big heart. So when I compare all that, I found that I have the reason to stay in education. But back to your question, you say that why many people escape. They don't want to be in it. Let me tell you what happened to me. Like after finishing high school, of course, everyone thinking like, I have to go to the office, I have to go to work in the bank, I have to, you know, like they have a lot of expectation for the work that they're going to be in. But to me, I was like, I think when I go for education, it will be easy for me to go there because even if you have not gone for uh, coaching or maybe training, there's another job that you can do in education. For example, like how I started being a helper. It doesn't need anyone to have skills for being a helper. It all needs a heart and a will. So I was like, there, I'll get a job immediately. I'll get a job. That's what was in me. So many people outside, they don't feel like they're not looking for a job they're going to get. They're looking for the money, income. So when you're looking for income, you may take long time to get a job, to get something to do. So for me, I was looking for a job, and then I got it through the education. Finally, I found that it is giving me a living, it's bringing bread on my table, it is helping me, and also I manage to help other people. So that keeps me to stay in education department.
As you told me, according to your experience, I may ask myself, did you ever think about to invest in education?
Perfectly, I did that. Exactly, that's what, as I told you, that each and every experience gives me another plan to reach on to another experience. So with all those years I've been teaching schools, I've been dealing with students, I came up recently to just decide and set up something that I'll call my own. So as I told you that I was working at the university, I sat during COVID. I was like, okay, there's no job, right? But education is always it's a daily life that we live in. We can teach, you can. So I could see people teaching via the YouTubes, other channels on TV. So I was like, oh, so this means that education is something that you can't die. Even if something happens, you can keep learning something new. So immediately I was like, okay, now I'm done. And then by then, in December last year, that's when I completed Masters in Education, as I told you, from the University of Kigali. So after completing, I was like, okay, what am I going to use this Masters for? Am I going to keep it? Am I going to stay in administration that I was working, but it was not related with what I studied? So I was like, I think I can take it and use it. So together with what I've been taught in the university, I said I can put it in action. So I stepped out. I quitted the job, and then I resigned after I went to see where I can set up a school. But in the mind, I was like, for the little experience I had so far, I think I need to serve. As I said, I told you that I like serving. I need to serve. I need to give. So who am I going to give? And who am I going to serve? So I came up with the idea of now not basing in town, but I wanted to go a little bit out of town because I had one feeling like I can change, you can change, we can change, but who want to be changed? So I found that there's some people outside there, mostly the children in the village, they don't have the chance to quality education. When I talk about quality education, it means like a education which is moving according to how the world is, modern education. And I was like, maybe those kids, they don't have that. And who will give it to them? Because all of us want to stay in town. So I went, I visited a place in Rubavu. Then I reached in Rubavu town, I moved around. I was like, there's many schools here already. So those kids, they're covered, right? Then I stepped out of Rubavu town, and then I went to another village. It's called Kanemge. Yeah, it's like 30 minutes from town. Then I went there. I found that kids are outside during class hours, like they have not gone to school. There were many. So I was like, I think this is where my call is. And I started a school. So I have a school called Iliba Academy. It's located in Rubavu sector, village of Gikombe, and then the cell is Kanemge. Yeah.
Okay. Most of our followers are former trainer or educator, and also some students who still at school. According to your inspiration, the call was to serve the people, which is very interesting. But my question is, how is Iliba Academy operate now?
Well, Iliba Academy is just 1 year born, actually on 30th or 31st May. That's when we completed a year. So the way Iliba Academy is operating, it's a school which is a modern school
Okay.
with a quality education,
Okay.
but serving people with low standard of life, you understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the income's not that good. So
Yeah.
we don't charge a lot of money. And I would like to explain this maybe to the people who are following us, being teachers, being the owner of the schools. If you are educationist, what you're giving, it's new.
Yeah.
At times I don't understand why we charge a lot of money than what we give.
Yeah.
You get my logic?
I get it.
We charge a lot of money, like that's a lot of school fees,
Yeah, yeah.
and then the quality we are giving is not that much.
Yes.
And this is something that it's in we. You get it? It's in we, as in we don't have to go, we first buy it and then we come to give. It's already in us. Probably there's other things that materials we need, fine, but the main point is the education you give to someone, which is already have. So at Ilwa Academy, what I did, as I told you, many people around there, they are still, I can use the word poor maybe,
Yeah.
they're still struggling with life.
Yeah.
So I just went and learned the area. I see the capacity of people around, the parents.
Yeah.
The first thing I liked is that they had a will. They wished to see their kids also in school. I could see that they can struggle and do all it takes for them to see their kids also in school like other kids. Then after seeing their capacity, I get to know how much I can charge them. The money they pay, it's I can say that I can say that it's not my money. It doesn't come to me. It's the money I used to buy them porridge for break time, because you can't stay with a kid up to noon without having something to eat. It's the money I used to pay the people around that are helping me, like other teachers. Where I'm working, I'm renting.
Yeah.
So I pay the rent from that little money I collect from them. For now, I have 97 students, and I can see a huge change in them. First of all, the discipline has changed because I found their kids on the street. You know, they could see anything they want. They could just bring out the word, which I feel like it's really strong for a child to speak.
Yeah.
But I found that it was not their mistake, because they had no one to be there for them, to educate them, to teach them. And then the smartness. Now they're smart. When you look at them, you find that they're really smart. And also academic-wise, they understand. For now, they have reached at a point where I can speak, giving them instructions in English, and then they do really follow them. So I can say that we are really on a good level.
Yeah. So, around or anywhere, the parents or other teacher, what message will you deliver to them according to your experience?
Well, what I will give to most of the parents, one thing is that let a child be. If a child is liking to dance, for example, don't force a child to do what you want the child to do. Let the child be and guide the child in exactly what the child wants. And this one, I'm not speaking it on the level of nursery and primary, but also on the level of the youth, the students from high school. Parents, kindly don't feel like you have to let your kids do what you want. I want you to go and study biology. I want you to go and study engineering. No. Then from there, support a child, guide a child. Probably a child can choose to have a career which is not good.
Yeah.
Then sit down and show the child that this is not. Creating time with the kids. I find that kids, they don't have time with parents. And once communication is dead, then a lot of things can't move on. So I really encourage parents to have time with their kids, learn them. We teachers, we do have time with them, fine. But I think we are the second people after their parents. So parents, I encourage them to have time with their kids, invest in their kids, train their kids, and trust their kids. Then when it comes to the teachers, I would like that whatever they do, teachers, do it for the kids.
Okay.
Just have it in your heart, then let it come to your mind, to your head, and then let it go to the hand. You feel it, you think you have it in the heart, it goes to your mind, in the head, and then you give it to. Because every day a child has something he has to learn from a teacher.
Okay.
A time she can go or he can go with it in the heart, that's emotion.
Yeah.
A time he can go or she can go with it in the head, that's what it will never get out.
Yeah.
And a time she can go with it in hands, For example, that's the homework you have given them, or that's what the child will be doing, exactly like what you have been doing at school. So teachers out there, I want to let you know that you are the role model of these kids. So if you don't share with them love, care, affection, encouraging them, pushing them to do a lot, they won't do it for themselves. Yeah.
Okay. By the end of our interview, I'd like to, as you know, we are education-based platform, and nowadays, according to the evolution of technology, youth, young, are out there. They are following the content we are trying to make. What message will you deliver to our dear followers?
Uh, First of all, I would just tell them that we're almost entering the holidays, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's going to be the long one,
Yeah, yeah.
the long holiday. The long holiday. So I would like to just give them the message that they have to get ready for the kids.
Okay.
They have to get ready for the kids who are going to come. There are those ones who are in schools, in boarding. There are those ones who have been coming home, but they have to find something to engage them during holidays.
During holidays. By saying that, I'm asking you about Iriwa Academy. Did you ever have a holiday program?
Well, as I said that we are just 1 year born.
Yeah.
We have not yet official yet, so that we can have a plan for the term. But where I used to work before, we used to have the summer holiday camp or holiday programs, which now I want to bring to the Rubavu area where I am right now. I'm planning to set up a summer camp during holidays, and to take a place in one big place, open place called Josh Mish Garden. It's in Rigelelo, for those who knows Rubavu. And this is going to be a huge and fun moment. But what we're going to be doing is not only having fun, praying around, but learning. Though we'll be learning through praying. Yeah. And then it will be much of engaging kids in life out of home, because we'll be staying there. It will be a camp. So it will be a life out of home, and then it will be also a life a little bit in the village life, where we'll be waking up in the morning, and then we go to visit the cows, and then we see how they're milking, and then all those stuff, like how the life in the village is. Then from there we do other activities. So that's a plan for the summer camp. I get also this chance to let the people who will be following us, probably are in Rubavu, kindly let your child come and have experience networking with others, learning from other teachers. Also to my friends, because I do have the kids I've been teaching in Kigali, and I keep the trust, I keep the connection with them. Normally I say that I leave schools, but I don't leave my students. So my student over there, wherever you are, the parents, during holidays, I will contact you. Just let the kids come for the summer camp at Rubavu, and then let them learn. So they may go back home. We have them like 7 days. But if it goes beyond that, still it's okay with me, because I have a big heart and big hands to have them around me. Yeah.
What are the requirements for any student who is interested to be a part of that camping?
Well, that's a good question. As it's still in the planning process, before end of this month, I think we'll come up with a clear plan. So there we'll know exactly what it needs. But all in all, the first thing is just a will. You want to join, you will join. There will be some fee, of course, to pay, so that it can help us to facilitate you, facilitate the kids around. But that one, it will come. We have not yet started, because I'm still busy with the students I have right now. Yeah.
Okay, I hope when the timetable or requirements are set, you will let us know and inform them.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
I hope in the future, when we need to discuss you based on education, you will keep informing or help us to reach you.
As long as it's all about education, as long as it's all about children, as long as it's about developing the country, dealing with our community, I'm always free for that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah.